What's helped me too, aside from the military, was I did say when I got to Split, I said if I make it out alive in Sarajevo, I'm going to help veterans. And today I'm a military advocate, and that's what I do. I help veterans who are traumatised with PTSD and assist them with their claims, because it's very difficult for them to do it when there's a lot of trauma. You can't concentrate on forms, and it becomes all too much. So, and that's how I'm involved with my Peacekeepers Peacemakers Association today, as a volunteer capacity to do my, to do my time to help them, because I know what I went through. Yeah, well, I think if I'm not helping them, what if it was turned around? If I'm not helping this guy from the Navy or the Army, and I've got a lot of peacekeepers, ex-peacekeepers, who I advocate for, and I've seen the trauma the East Timor guys, they go through, and it's like, I've got one guy, I don't know how, I'm surprised he's still alive, but I see the trauma he goes through, and he beats up over it, yeah. So, but if I can help them in some way, and being a volunteer, it makes it, more, it's a promise I kept to myself, but also, to give back. You need to, you have to give back. You put on this earth, you need to give back as well. I count myself fortunate because I've got my legs, I've got my arms, I'm in good health, but I do count myself fortunate. I could have gone down the path of just drink and all that, but I don't know, I snapped somewhere along the line, I just snapped out of it. So, but that's not the case for a lot of them, and I can't explain when or how you can snap out of it, and how you get into it to get out of it. But yeah, it's history repeats itself. Yeah, but unlike then, we had NATO, and they stopped the war like that, and I can't understand NATO like. There's no, today's different. That's the only part of history we don't know, is nothing stopping it. Whereas it stopped during the marketplace bombing. When that bombing happened, the UN, someone got on the phone at the UN, said, we need the Serbs, we need them hit, and NATO was called up, and they started the airstrikes. And that's when the Serbs, threw up their arms, yeah. I had the chance to go to Srebrenica, but I never made it, and then I discovered the massacre occurred, and I'm sort of, in one sense, I'm pleased I didn't see it. It just would have been the Srebrenica massacre. It's coming up to its 30th year, and it would have been absolutely horrible, because 8,000 Bosnian Muslim men were rounded up, and boys between fighting age between 15 and 60, and they basically round up, and it was ethnic cleansing, and they were basically shot in warehouses in cold blood. And some of the stories you read about some of them pretending to be dead under bodies and bodies and bodies, and then they've only started the exhumations, realise they're still finding bodies and all that. And what they did was on par with, with World War II. What happened to Jews was history repeating itself. You can never compare, of course not, but in the 1990s you could never even envision that they could just round up men and just mass kill them, mass bury them with what, Ratko Mladic now has been caught, he's doing time, he's doing life imprisonment, as to Karadzic, the political leader, and Mladic was the general, he was the military leader, but between the both of them, how they can rally up the Serb troops to do that sort of killing is just unbelievable. And I myself personally, I'd like to go and see that for myself one day. They call it, there's a memorial called the Holocaust for it, because it was a Holocaust, and I think that in the marketplace was, led up to the end of the war. It just couldn't keep going the way it kept going. It was just crazy. In fact, I wouldn't know. That's where NATO, that was the one good thing NATO did, was stop that war. I honestly thought after the 90s we wouldn't see another war after that. It was on a scale like nothing before. It should be remembered, and I was just fortunate that I went there, and in hindsight I would have done everything. Yeah, I wouldn't have not done it. Yeah. I survived by I suppose just putting it all out of my mind, but yeah. But you still suffer from it today, yeah. Never goes away. I suppose I think of all the families that I stayed with, all the police officers. I stayed with a Serbian family in Knin. The next day the Croatian tanks rolled in. You know, that family hosted me, they put me up, but I don't know whether they're alive or dead. They could have been shot and killed in their house. I still look at all these families who had nothing to give but gave me everything. So, sort of hangs on me, thinking, you know, what if?